Sports Check on KBC Channel 1. It is the 11th day of April 2022. And we are having conversations, first a rugby conversation. Now we move on to an athletics conversation. But before that, just a reminder of some of the key news items. Earlier today, we had Professor George Magoha at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development making an announcement about the Form 1 selections. This is for the pupils who sat for their KCPE examinations that were released a couple of weeks ago, and now will be moving to Form 1 and the plans for 100% transition from primary school to secondary school. And also, there is a drought mitigation activities that are happening at the KICC, which means that relief food will be going up to the northeastern part of the country and also to Marsabit. So Ruth Mbo is our reporter at that event. And also, the FIFA World Cup trophy. Every year, there is a tour and you can get to walk past it. Remember, that's a trophy that can be touched by a World Cup winner, the FIFA president, or a person who is a head of state. Those, if you fall within those three categories, we know right now Gianni Infantino is the FIFA president. President Uhuru Kenyatta can't touch it. We also know former President Mwai Kibaki also got to touch it. And if you've won the World Cup, which means that that class is known. That trophy will be here next month, and all the arrangements are being, the announcement about that trophy tour are being made today, and we hope to listen in to that story that is going to be covered by Karen Kibet. Straight now to our second conversation, and this is about athletics, the sport that everyone loves, and is anytime you see a marathon, for example, on a Sunday, everyone will follow it up. If there is a Diamond League meeting, we follow it up. The Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, the World Championships, we all keep tabs on it. And to do that, I've got an athletics writer and a person who's been even doubled in consulting for athletics, John Vaselyne. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah. And John, first of all, let's talk about something that happened last week and Athletics South Africa, for the opportunities that have come through for Ferdinand Omanyala and the fact that now he's going to compete against a person who wants his record back, Akani Simbine. What was that opportunity that came through, quite early in the track and field season for Omanyala?
Yeah, one thing is the coach, actually the agent and the manager for Omanyala is a South African. So he has been getting these opportunities even way before he even came to the limelight. So for him to go there is an opportunity because, again, Africa is going to meet against the fastest and the second fastest in Africa. And again, you see, he's among the top 10 well-accomplished runners in the world, Omanyala that is. So he's staying there. I talked to him on Friday last week, and he's ready for this Wednesday event. And the thing is, he's going to thrash him, because when I asked him for a quote, he was telling me, man, I'm not going to fight to focus on him because I know I'll beat him. Yeah.
And when you take a look at that scene and what happened at the first AK track and field meeting in Nyayo,
yes.
100 people showing up for 100 meters.
It was crazy, man. It has revived a lot of things that were really hidden under the carpet. And as you can see, the planning, AK assumed that it's going to be an ordinary event, but it turned out that we had the most hits in the history of athletics in this country, because we had more than 27 hits for one race. You can imagine 200 and around 18 hits for one race. It reached a time that
218 athletes.
Yes, it reached a time that they said, no, you listen, now we will go with time. If you don't pass the time, we will not repeat this event because it's so easy. It will take us like 5 days. So they had to take the first timers, which was unfortunate for others because they were reserving energy for the next event.
And that decision, at times, people will look at it and think, okay, so I have been denied the opportunity, but is it, what was the impact of putting that cut line where you're told if you don't do 10.8, please stay away.
Stay away. It is because the timing and also the finances for the event. You know, if the management had set aside funds for 2 days, it must be 2 days, because there are a lot of implications. You have to pay the stadium, you have to pay the official and those sort of things. So they had to be given that opportunity. But again, AK split into the many categories. We had around four events for athletics trials. So they were given opportunities. If you are not here, you are not picked here, you can go to Kisumu. After Kisumu, most people again went to Embu. So there was opportunity for everyone, and everyone participated. Even now, they're still being given opportunity. If you are good at it, come. You know, with racing, you'll never lie. You'll just put on the track and the results will be there.
I mean, it's basically, if you can't sprint, you can't sprint.
That's it.
There is no shortcut. You can't run away. It's one event that I know you can't run away from. But also, this week, an announcement was made by Athletics Kenya. Let's start with the Commonwealth Games team for the marathons. And the announcement was made where you've got four athletes, where 3 can enter with a reserve, and also for the men's team, and the opportunities that come with it. Overall, what was your take on the names there?
My take is the unknowns have been brought forth. That's the beauty about this thing. And I've been following, you see, especially for the ladies who have been picked. It's only Ruth who has been in the field for long. Most of these, they have run like 6 marathons. And I've seen a growth, especially for 2 women there, 2 women racers who have grown from 2:45, like one is from 2:45 to now she's running 2:19. This is amazing, almost 8 minutes slashing of her personal best. So this is a good team. I love overall to me, I think the top-notch athletes have been left out, and an opportunity has availed itself for the newcomers.
Let's go through the team. Let me start with the club games team, the Commonwealth Games team for Birmingham 2022. Let me pick Margaret Wangari Muriuki.
Yes.
And she Izmir at the Izmir Marathon 2:29:29, her personal best. What's her story? You know, if you go back to Algiers 2007 at the African Games.
Yes, she started at 2012. She got Kenya the Olympic, the African cross-country silver medalist. Then again, she gave Kenya a bronze medal at African Championship. So she has been growing. She's 36 years old. She has been in this game for quite a while. But marathon, it just has come recently into her, and that's why she's coming at 2:29:27, and this is actually, when you look at the numbers, she is the athlete with the least qualification into that. But when you look at others, you'll find that we have the 2:18, we have 2:17, we have the 2:20, 2:22, and all that.
What would make her stand out when going to run in Birmingham?
Birmingham it's all about the experience. Running is about experience and how you are going to tackle it. It's a tactical race. It's not just about going to run. It's what you believe in and the opponent, and how the pace is going to be carried on. So if the pacing will be good, or if you are
actually I mean within the team.
Yes. Within the again, it's about playing as a team, because if you go one way, you cannot be able. So they'll be using one another. You can pace for us for a certain time of period, you can fall back so that somebody else can take it. But the fact is, you have to finish, or you have to kill, as they say, they call it in athletics term, to kill the people that are behind you, which means that you can go at a certain time at a higher pace running, so that the energy and the assumption of these people, you have really finished them before even the rest started.
Well, the other person who's been called up is we've got Purity Changoni, Siena, at the Siena Marathon, 2:22:46. 2:22 is fast.
2:22 is too fast. It's too fast for a lady. It's very, very fast, and you can see she's 32 years old, which is prime time for an athlete, for any marathoner. Because marathons, most now, because of money, you know, marathon has really distorted the calendar of events, because most people now, they see when you go to track, it will take you a longer time of period for you to get to this bracket of or getting quick money. But with marathon, it's quick money because there are three things in marathon. There is prize money, which most people, especially the elite athletes, if you look at Eliud, Paris, Ruth, or Bridget, they don't look at prize money. They look at the appearance fee. You see, appearance fee is the key thing, because you can go with an appearance fee, maybe you're given 20 million. Let's say for Paris, maybe she's getting 10 million for an appearance fee for any race.
And that is just an imagined figure.
That is just an imagined figure.
Because you never get to know.
You never get to know. Yeah, those are played behind the scenes with management when they go to negotiate on your behalf. So you'll find that even if she drops out at 10K, the money is in the pocket already. So, and then the next component is the prize money now, the actual prize money. Like the Boston is giving 15 million, you see. So when you add into that 10 plus 15, you have already 25 million. Then on top of that, there is the course record time. If you happen to break that course record time,
the performance bonuses.
Yes, the performance bonuses. So you have three key things that an athlete is getting behind the scene that most people look at only the prize money, which to some it's very minimal or a little. Yeah.
So, and in that case, if you look at Piruchi Changoni, who's running tier 3 marathons,
yes.
clocking 222, because when you mention the likes of Ruth, Paris, Bridget, those are 219, 218 runners on the standard.
Yes, because if you look at Purity again, as I was telling you earlier, she started her first marathon in 2016, and to date she has come to break 8 good minutes on that. That is massive for a duration of 6 years. It's so massive on her. So she is prepared, and the best is coming because she's only 32 years. The best is ahead of her. Yeah.
Then we had Stella Barsosio.
Yes.
She's going to be running in the Commonwealth Games, and well, she didn't have a good day yesterday in Rotterdam.
Yeah, it was hectic. I don't know, I think something must have happened because she was to defend, because she was the winner. And she started this off well. She was well on time. Halu could not get near that Barsosio, because she proved it, and she has proved it many a times, because she has run 8 marathons. She has won 6 of them. So she has been on the podium on 6 marathons. So this is a good CV that she has. And I hope maybe either the body, something happened with her that she could not manage to keep up with the pace, because it's the same thing that happened to men's marathon. You saw Bashir reached her time after 40. He had to let people to go because he felt this is too much on me. And you know, as an athlete, you must be able to read your body reaction. If the body response is weak or poor, you have to respect it, because if you continue, you're going to punish yourself for the future, and the future is here. We have 2 big events that are happening. And Bashir, there are 3 events, because there is European Championship, there is the Commonwealth Games, and the World Championship.
Bashir is not going to, luckily, then Belgium is not in the Commonwealth.
That's the thing. So
he's got the European Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also got the World Championship.
The World Championship, yes. Yes.
So the other athlete who's been picked as a reserve is Viola Lagat, clocked 222.44 in New York last year on debut.
Yes.
And what's this, sudden transition from a 1500-meter runner like her brother Bernard Lagat to a marathoner?
I think it boils back to the roots of their family. There is one of their sisters, Mary Chepkemboi. Mary gave Kenya 1982 African Championship gold in 4x4 relay, and then she won again bronze in 1500 meter. So it's a family that has roots. Then they have one brother. He has competed, Robert Cheseret, but right now he's in US. He's a US citizenship, same as Bernard Lagat, but he's an army. He's a captain there. So this is a family with roots that have been rooted in athletics. So this is a gradual transition that is happening, and as you see, Viola, she's going to give us something. As much as she's into reserve, I know something good is going to come out of her. If not now, even the next, because you can see Paris 2024 is just coming, because we missed the other one. This one was pushed to the Tokyo, was pushed to last year. So this one is a little bit 3 years to get to Paris. So she might be in the Paris team, and the future is good for her. Yeah.
All right, that's the women's team for the Commonwealth Games. And by the way, remember, the Commonwealth Games are going to be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1. So the names that you hear us mentioning and speaking about, you will get to watch them on this channel. And remember, that event will run from the 26th of July till the 8th of August. So if you want to avoid the politics, you know where to watch. Let's move on to the men's team, John. And I want to pick Philemon Kacheran, 205.19 in Valencia, being picked inside that in the team.
Yes.
What does Kacheran have to offer? Because he finished 5th, yes, in that very fast Valencia marathon last year. I think Amoror was 4th after the injuries. How well is
Kacheran is good. Kacheran has experience. These are people who have been running behind the scenes. Kacheran has participated in around 9 marathons. He has won 7 marathons out of it. So this one is just is something that people didn't know. But you see, the experience that these people have, you know, we have lots of events. You remember last weekend, we had around, and I saw you tweeting, we had around 12 races happening in the world.
Yes, over a weekend. Yes,
over a weekend.
There were 12. I mean, at one point I couldn't keep up with them. I just looked for where there was a Kenyan.
Yes, and Kenyans took each and every race that either went position 1 or position 2 in those races. So you can see the massiveness of Kenyans that we are planted every corner of this one. There were 10K that happened even in USA. And I remember one Kenyan sending me inbox, man, you didn't watch this race. Why not writing something about this race? I'm like, no, man. There are too many races for me to cover, you see. So Kenyans are everywhere. We have been planted in every continent. You can imagine if it's not happening, if those are the known races that we saw, what about the unknown races that are happening in Japan every weekend?
Yeah, and talking about Japan, we have got Michael Getahi, who's a reserve.
Yes.
207.51. What does Michael have to offer here?
Michael, I've done a background check on him a little bit, and what I found is he has run 9 marathons. Michael, he has a sub old from 2012. He has a sub 2012. He ran 212 in 2016. That is now after he's 27 years, and now he's running at 207. This guy is good. He's, you know, they are Japan based, and these are people who have been brought up in a system. He's the same system that brought up Douglas Wakihuri. You can see Douglas Wakihuri was taken, and then with Japan, they plan you. They don't just come out of it. You see, they have a plan. They have a 3 years plan for you to achieve. So they put you under certain condition that, man, in the next 3 years, you're going to run for this race. That's why if you look at what happened at Nagoya, look at the women races that have been happening in Japan, you will be surprised that the times that these women are running, it's going to be crazy. Even on Kenyans, they have to watch out for these ladies because they are running 250, 220, 221, 220. Yeah, so that's amazing time and crazy times, especially for such country.
Well, yes, and the other athlete who's going to be in that team is Jonathan Korir, 204.32.
Yeah, Jonathan has run 8 marathons, so experience is there again. He knows how he'll handle it. It's just that now these people have not been exposed to this kind of podium or competition, because every country is bringing the best out of the best. So here, with experience and what we have as Kenyans, I know we're going to have it, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the World Championship team. Ruth Chepngetich, 2:22.31, and also, by the way, you mentioned the Nagoya Women's Marathon. Yeah. She won it in the second fastest ever women's only time.
Yes. Chepngetich is good. I will tell you one amazing thing about Chepngetich is she is a person who is fighting each day. You see, she was at Kenya prison. Kenya prison have taken her, imagine. You can imagine, she's now a Kenya prison officer. She has been taken now, she's a month and a half old. Actually, she was telling me they are going back now to training after running at Kasaran. She did double. So what I see is, one amazing thing about her is that she's working on her speed each and every day. I was surprised to find her at Agnes Tirop Memorial. She ran 2 of those events. She ran the first for the national championship, then she went for the championship, the global championship itself. So, and she finished the first one. She finished top 5.
Yes.
The second one, she finished top 10. That's a crazy time for a marathoner. You know, a marathoner coming to mingle with these track races, it's huge. And I saw her get back. She did again 10. She did 5. when was it, Thursday and Friday? No, it was Friday and Saturday. She ran on Friday 5,000. Then she was in 10,000. This is an amazing lady.
That's at the Prisons Championships over the weekend.
We need to expect huge, and I totally believe that she will defend her title.
And then you got Judith Jeptum. She won the Paris Marathon 1948, and you mentioned at the start a crazy improvement on her personal best.
Yes. That's too huge. But again, it's about consistency. It's about the people you train with. You see, with our women, they are training with men. Every single day, these people are waking up at 4 a.m. running with men. You go here at Ngong, get Helen Obir what she does. Helen Obir is doing crazy things because her whole life, she has been training with men. She learns to get into that pool. And then when they say, let's go, she will go with them. 38, she has been on track, and she's going with them 38 kilometers. That's crazy for her, for such. So with women, they're improving because of that accompaniment of men. They are being paced by men. So the timing for our women is perfect. Yeah.
All right. And also Maureen Jepkemoi, 2018 at the Amsterdam Marathon, and the reserve is Angela Tanui also.
Yes, Angela, I was doing a little bit of background for Angela. Angela has run 6 marathons. She has been on 2 podiums. She has finished 4. She has run 4 marathons. She has run 6 marathons. She has been on the podium 4 times. She has been number 4 2 times. And she comes to the personal best to 2:17:57. I think she could have been put in the real team. Because with this kind of time, with the experience that she's bringing on board, it's crazy and it's massive. This is a deep elite athlete that anyone who will call her to any event with this kind of time, you must have an appearance fee. You must be given a VIP travel. You must be accommodated at the highest hotel on the land. So these are the times that we are talking. This is a deep elite field that we have.
Well, let's talk about the men's team. First, interesting enough, Jeffrey Kirui is a reserve.
Yes. I think it's because of performance. Of late, she has not been that.
Yeah, he hasn't been.
But the only thing that she has been reserved there, she was a former champion.
Yeah, he's a former champion.
Yeah. So experience.
And he's got this, the way he runs, it's like a guy who's just been told something.
True. That man is coming with experience. I think that's what they brought him on board. Because they are still thinking, if we put him, the experience that he has, and he has run with he has been in this game for a long time, I think the performance, and the main thing, I think, also to encourage other people. Because I'm looking at Geoffrey Kamworor. Geoffrey Kamworor of late, he has not been as per.
I mean, coming off, you've got to consider he came off the injuries when he went to run in Valencia. He had just done 1 long run, but finished 4th. What about with the recovery now? Because it looks like he's focused on the road.
Yeah, I don't know, because I assumed, again, you remember the Agnes Europe Championship. He was supposed to participate inside there. But again, the management, I'm told the management went and saw the course. Then they say, no, an injury might happen here, and we still need
the mud pit.
The mud pit. And that's why you have seen even in this list that the top 4 Kenyans, the top athletes, elite athletes that we have in the country or in the world, they opted out of this because of management issue and personal issues, which I think we will share later on. But the thing is this, Geoffrey, as of now, he has not been as at his best the way he used to be. But Geoffrey is a good name for us, because Geoffrey has speed, the speed that Eliud has from the track, the graduation of him graduating from the track to the field. It's good, because you see, these people who are from the track, man, you cannot beat them at the end game. They are bad. Yeah, they are bad. That's why you see Eliud. Eliud starts, he'll tell you, I start my marathon at 30. When people are really completely finished, they are keeping that reserve energy for the next 12 kilometers. But the guy is telling you, that's the time I start running. That's a dangerous person to work with or follow.
And these people belong to the same stable. They're part of the NN running team. And let's also talk about Lawrence Cherono and Barnabas Kiptum.
Lawrence, a very humble human being. He's such a nice person, a nice character when you sit with him, and the performance has been good. When you go back to Olympic, that's the only place I saw, but he was exhausted because of these 2, Somali, Dutch, Somali, Belgian. these two guys.
Abdinage and Bashir.
And you see the same thing that happened in Tokyo Marathon happened yesterday.
Yes.
Yes,
in Rotterdam.
In Rotterdam. That's exactly because they were running and then they are helping each other. But the funny bit of this thing is that this guy who won, you know, he's coached by Patrick Sang.
Yes.
The guy is coached by Patrick Sang, and he stays here in Iten.
Yes, we know.
So he knows our game. He knows what happens, what we go through. So these two characters.
Okay, basically it's an end running thing. It's end running marathons in the world.
Yes, they are the ones actually running marathons. You come near them, they'll finish you. But I think it's because of the management. When you have a good management, Jos Hermans, you know, he held the 5,000 record for a while. So this man is from running, you know. Ule anajua chenye anaumwa kiatu, you know, he knows the pitch of that shoe, so he understands when he brings you on board your expectation on what he expects from you. He's good. The management of NNN is the topmost management in the world, but I'm hoping they will bring us somebody for 5,000 and 10,000. I'm still waiting. We haven't had somebody from that stable, but I know what they are doing with under coach Patrick Sang. They are doing crazy and amazing stuffs.
Yeah. Well, if you want to find out crazy, by the way, just try get in there with a camera, and if you come across that sign at the gate,
yes.
I mean at the camp,
yes.
It's gonna, you simply told the cameras here, unless you are allowed. The only person we haven't spoken about is Kiptum Barnabas. Before we move on to some touchy.
The lady?
Barnabas Kiptum.
Barnabas Kiptum. Barnabas Kiptum. I haven't heard much about him, but these are just people who have come in because when you go back to their history, actually they have not participated in that long duration of time. But we know with marathon, I don't know what happens with these races. I will tell you, I don't know what actually funny, because you can find somebody who has not even been running, but he has been in E10. You know, there are people in E10 who have competed or actively running for the last 8 years, but they have never gone to any race. So this is
any major race.
Any major race. They have been just participating here, but their time is good. But comparing the standard that we have in Kenya and the European standard, you'll find the performance of this character, such as Barnabas Kiptum. You know, it's just somebody who came, and then the performance is picking up itself. So we hope that that we'll have something good will come out of him.
Well, John Vaselyne taking us through the Commonwealth Games and World Championship Marathon teams, and you know, the story of each athlete is right to the background of each of these athletes, because I know once they get into camp, getting them is going to be a tough one. Now, the other thing that we've got to talk about is the qualifying criteria that was set out by Athletics Kenya, and last week, it was on Tuesday, Dan Mwendwa was at Riyadh House, and this is the story that Dan Mwendwa packaged about the requirement for athletics, from Athletics Kenya to athletes who want to go to the Senior African Championships, the Commonwealth Games, and the World Championships.
Speaking at a press briefing, Athletics Kenya President Jack Tuwei said it is sad to see young people end their careers prematurely because of engaging in doping activities. Tuwei maintained no athlete will be allowed to represent Kenya at national and international assignments if he or she does not meet the said requirements.
Prior to the commencement of each year, the Integrity Unit Board determine in its absolute discretion the category of each member federation by taking into consideration the following factors. 1, the doping history of athletes, athlete support personnel, and other persons under the jurisdiction of the member federation.
Well, that is Kenya. It's a Category A nation, which means that we are very highly at risk. I won't be coming to the matters of the doping violations, because the AIU has been making their announcement. We won't question it. But let's come straight to something that's the requirements that AK put out. They said, number 1, it's going to be by invitation and based on the records that you have. And number 2, meeting the qualifying standards that have been set out by the Confederation of African Athletics. That's for the Senior Athletics Championships. That will be in Mauritius.
Yes.
World Athletics for the World Championships in Oregon and also World Athletics for the Commonwealth Games. But there's a qualification. Before we get into this doping and everything around it, race walking.
Yes.
Kenya won a bronze. That's Samuel Kireri Gadimba.
Yes.
And Harrison Wanyonyi in the 10K,
Yes.
making his presence felt. Is it possible that we're going to have the representation from those two, because they must have competed at that level?
Yes. Actually, I was talking to the race walking coach, George Karaoke, on Friday at Kasarani, and he was showing me the program of this, especially Gatimba. He has full confidence that this time round, Gatimba is going to be on the podium at the World Championship. He is going to be there. And then he was also talking about Harrison. Harrison is a good one. It's only that now the exposure is coming into going outside and trying to expose yourself. But with that experience that he got outside there, I think the future is bright for him. Race walking, Kenya is taking its shape. And right now we have like around 5 race walkers in Kenya which are doing good. Because George was telling me he is looking at 44. That is the time for 20 kilometers he wants, and that's what they are doing. Even he's going even to this police championship. It will be the first event to start on Tuesday. So he's telling me that Gatimba is targeting to walk a 44 minutes race. So the future is good for us. It's only that we need now investment and resources and places where these people can really do their training. We lack that, because if somebody, he's in Nyeri, I think that's where he's training from. And
that's Washira.
And so you see now he's being sent the programs, but George told me that in every 2 weeks he has to happen on the ground so that he sees exactly what is happening. So he's doing a close monitoring as he progresses him for the championship.
And the whole thing is, you can't play around with a coaching plan and you decide to use your own. Eventually you'll get caught. And for the World Championships, this is where it becomes tricky. We had a crazy situation in 2017.
2017, yeah.
When there were 5 people who could make it to for the 800-meter team at the World Championships.
Yes.
There was Rudisha, Emmanuel Korila broken through. There was Michael Saruni, you had Ferguson Rotich. So 5 people, but you decide, how are you going to do this? The question then is, where's the balance between a defending champion who's got a wild card and a case where you have got a Diamond League winner who has a wild card?
Yes.
Could actually be on a wild card. And then coming into the 1-2 past the line plus number 3 to be selected.
It's quite funny because they're taking only 3 positions. They're taking those who cross the line 2.
Yes.
And then the 3rd one is going to be determined by
the selection
panel, which is a little bit again tricky. And then those people who have the wild card. But what happened is this. According to what the president of Athletics Kenya was trying to explain is this, that even if you have that wild card and you are in the race, for instance, you finish number 10, but those top 2 people, they beat your time, it will go back to the officiators, the officials.
It will go to the selection panel.
To the selection panel. So wherever you go to race as if it's the decision will be made. Assume you don't have that the wild card, as we so called it, because if it happens that you finish number 5 and these 2 guys have beaten, their time is good, even the 3rd person, the time is good, you'll go to the selection panel. But it happened that you have number 10 and then the 2 people that have finished, their time doesn't match yours, you automatically be put into the team. So it's a little bit tricky, but we hope that things will flow so that we don't have a scenario of what happened with the Saruni, because it became a world issue and then it created a lot of animosity until AK had to call everyone on board and say, listen guys, we are the decision makers and this is what we think is best for the team. And that's how the things cool down. But we are praying that this thing, every decision will be made according to the laid down rules and criteria.
Well, very interesting about that. The other one that we've got to talk about is for those who are going to be doing some of the field events. Where's Julius Yego now? What's his plan?
Julius Yego is in training. He is training hard to come back. And he has had issues with injuries and all that have kept him away. But he has been back. I think 2 months ago, he started the active training preparation now for the championship. And we hope that, facilitation is usually a major issue because Julius Diego needs to go out and do the competition with others in that field. But if he happen to be training here, he depends on South Africa. So in South Africa, this is the easiest where he can fund or get the fund to go there and play and then come back, or compete and then come back. But he needs to go to other countries even during this championship so that he can get that exposure and what is happening at the real time currently. Because as you can see, people are throwing outside there.
Whoa. 87
yes.
You'll get 87 you'll drop out in the first round.
Out, yes. And that's what made him a champion. It was 92, I remember.
Yes.
But 87, you are out, even in the first round. So he needs that exposure. And I'm praying that AK will find it out in a way that they can expose him outside Kenya. Because he has no competition here. He has no competition in Africa. He needs to go to Europe where people are really making throws. And that's how we'll get to know, and that's how we'll come to that level of these champions that are in the world. Yeah.
Now, we want to talk about the whole anti-doping scenario. Matthew Kisorio sanctioned. We had Morris Gashaga with a 2-year sanction. Actually, Kisorio is provisionally suspended. The question then is the tests that are required. 3 out of competition tests random. They must have at least 1 in competition test and have taken the anti-doping workshop. Looking at that setup which is required for entry into the Kenyan team, AK have decided if you don't meet this, you're not getting invited. How has that part been met? There are 2 institutions involved, AK and ADAC.
Yeah, I think ADAC has really done everything that's supposed to be done. ADAC has set resources aside to be in every race that's in this country. They have attended. They usually hold seminars a day before even the event. They usually have seminars even before the events. They already had like around 3 seminars that have already elapsed. They are trying to educate. The education is there. But this menace is now just coming to individuals. It's messy with individuals because AK has really tried its best. You see, it has put up these camps. It has invested. You remember we used to have the gala nights where awards were being given. AK had to shave that because of this category A where we are right now, so that education can come into place. So every year, AK is spending millions of money trying to put together people in a hotel so that they can be educated on this. And we have had this almost 3 times. So with education-wise, I don't want to blame anyone. Everything is going back to an athlete. The individual, the coach, the manager, and the athlete himself. But on the part of AK and ADAC, they have played what is supposed to be done. They have done what is supposed to be done because they're reporting, they are giving each and every time, they're reporting back to AIU, Athletics Integrity Unit. So for us, it's just now back to individuals who are really shaming us. Because I'm wondering, somebody like Kisorio, for heaven's sake, you want to tell me you didn't fill up your whereabouts fact? That's a lie. That's a total lie. He's supposed to be punished. I think this...
Kisorio has been punished before.
Already, yes.
And this time was actually for using a prohibited substance.
Yes. I think he should now, it's time he just call it quit. Yeah.
All right. He's provisionally suspended.
Yeah.
The case of Morris Gashaga, he got 2 years.
Yeah.
Considering what is the indication in the case of Morris Gashaga, admission of fault?
Yeah, admission, of course. If you admit, then the lesser the sentence. If you deny, then you take them to the process or you sue them, then the impact will be too good. It's the same issue with Marco Otieno. Marco Otieno has decided now to collaborate with AIU so that they find it for him to have a lesser sentence, you see. But again, he took orally taking. If you want to boost yourself, you're taking something, then you should know. He has been in the industry. I remember seeing him and Omanyala in 2016 in Eldoret, Rio Trions. They were the youngest of the kids, and they did wonders. I think it's all about planning and being in the game for the long. Because Omanyala has taken him years from 2016 up to now to be where he is. It's about consistency and training hard. Yeah.
Now, what just needs to happen, especially with the athlete support personnel? We're talking about the coaches, the physios, the medics. If the whole thing of athletes being found with having used prohibited substances has to come to an end.
Yeah, I think we just have to now to have a punishment, a huge punishment, like you are being expelled or suspended forever. There's no need for you to be given a chance, especially for those people who are using injection that is being found. You know, when you have an advanced advanced analytical biological passport finding, yes, if your blood is found to be messy or it's not consistency, then this kind of person, it means you have injected something into your blood. This one is a straight off. But for those maybe, you know, a lesser sentence, that's why it happens with lesser sentence for those who take orally, because sometimes you assume you are taking the right booster for you to keep you going, only to realize that it had been mixed with banned substance. That's why AIU every single day on their Twitter page, they are updating on what to take. And if you are not sure of something, ask. Now again, the same issue came with these doctors, our doctors, and the same issue was actually raised during this press conference that you have just put it there. And AK is calling the doctors back on board because they are few and they are too busy. When an athlete has an issue, he's not being offered the solution that he's supposed to. Sometimes an athlete makes an appointment to go to see the doctor. Then he'll sit there 6 hours. You know, he's missing his training. So he'll reach a time he gives up, he or she, to go back to training because...
Or go to another doctor who would not understand
yes,
this.
So especially Athletics Kenya just said they are going to call them. They want to increase also the number of doctors and then the gender balance, because all of them, the 6 are men. So they are looking for female doctors also that they are going to bring on board. And then they want to ask them actually if they are serious with what they are doing. Because if you can keep an athlete coming to see, you have given an athlete an 8 o'clock appointment, then by 3 you have not seen that athlete, then something is not right. Yeah.
The other one is the case of whereabouts. And you know, I've had conversations with an athlete who's been warned about whereabouts.
Yes.
And he simply said, guys, this thing is not a joke. Why aren't athletes, you know, giving this? Because of late, it's not the substance that's getting an athlete banned. It's simply not declaring. Wilson Kipsang's career basically is done for because of the whereabouts failures.
But what can you say? Because you have been told to be at KBC at 10 o'clock, or you will be at KBC the whole day today, from morning, from 6, the time you step here, till 5. You're supposed to tell the system. It's just as putting keying in the system where you will be. They want a 24-hour alert. If you're making, like right now, the person that I know is moving from Eldoret coming to Nairobi is Asbel Kiprop. Asbel has to change his whereabouts details from the system. He's telling the system, look guys, I'm not in the next 24 hours, I'll be in Nairobi. And then I'm going to be in Nairobi for the next whole week because the championships are happening here on Tuesday and Thursday. So which means
Tuesday through Thursday.
Through Thursday, which probably he'll be back home on Thursday or Friday. So he has to update the system. I don't buy it when an athlete tells me or says that he failed to update that system. You have to update the system because you know your plans. For instance, I'm traveling to Eldoret. CG's in Takana, I'm supposed to go to North Rift. I'm supposed to work from home, come to North Rift, get a ticket, go to Eldoret. Then when I reach Eldoret, I have to go to where I'm supposed to go and sleep or do what I'm supposed to sleep. It's the same thing with the whereabouts details. It's feeding the system where you're heading to. In the next 24 hours, I'll not be in Nairobi. I'm going to be in Machakos. So that this doping officer, the DO, knows exactly the system has been updated and this guy is not going to be here in the next 24 hours. He'll be in Machakos. So that the doping officer goes to wait for you in Machakos if it happens that he's supposed to take your blood sample or urine sample. So,
Now, the other thing is, and we've had a case, I think it was Christian Coleman. Yes.
Yeah.
Christian Coleman.
Yeah.
The one who said that, you know, the doping officer knocked and he said, look, I wasn't in. I was in the supermarket. I think that's what he said. So what is it an athlete needs to do? Because you've got to accept At times, some things happen in the wild, and the doping officer has got the right to call you. Even if your child gets sick, then that is not something you can plan.
True.
But what should athletes do then in case they've got to, the doping control officer calls?
But that's the thing again, doping officer is not supposed to make communication to an athlete.
No, I'm saying when they get to your house.
Yes, when they get to your house, they are supposed to knock. Their duty is to knock for you to open. They are not supposed in any circumstances to make a call because there should never be a communication. That's what brings the issue of Asbel popped out completely. Because for me, even up to now, I still believe in Asbel's words. Because this officer called him, he made a phone call, and then there was transaction of an M-Pesa between the accused and the person who was coming to take the sample. So this issue, as much as we can talk about it, I'm still on the side of Asbel. Yes, the ban has gone. He's so happy to be back into the family, running family, but I still stand with him because there were issues that he brought forward that people out of, I don't know if it is malice or anything, they just didn't want to get into it. But you need, when let me tell you this, an athlete is given 3 times.
Over a 12-month period.
12-month period. So today if your child is sick, don't tell me tomorrow your child will be sick. You have to make that sacrifice at one time. Because if you have been given 3 times in a year, even if you fail 2 times, there is still 1 time for you. And it doesn't follow up like today and then tomorrow. These people come month after month after month. They just surprise you. But you need, if you failed once, you failed twice, you can tell people, listen, I had this issue and this issue. But you only have now the last chance. You must avail yourself unless there's something you're hiding.
Well, that's a case of dopers. If you've got something to hide, then, the easy way out is quit the sport. That's the way athletics has been set up at the moment. Now, you mentioned about Asbel Kiprop.
Yes.
He's been out for 4 years.
Yes.
And he's back into running.
Yes.
And will be at the police championships on Tuesday through Thursday. What has been his journey for those years?
Oh, it's
because we know at one point
it got messy.
Not messy, it got ugly. It got ugly. The Inspector General had to intervene individually.
Yes. It got uglier at some point. Things went way wide. And he was not himself. He was posting stuffs and all that, and it was crazy on him. I've worked with Asbel for the last 4 years. That Asbel has been under suspension. The 3 years under suspension. Yes, I've worked with him that journey. Because I used to encourage, because when I saw the stuff he was posting, I saw this is going to be bad, this is going to be out of control. So I was always telling him, Asbel, you listen, but you can come and talk your issue. We are here, we can listen. What we want TV, I can organize for you. You can go and talk this issue. So it has been
the only thing is, at the end of it all, it's very difficult to do an interview with somebody who's been sanctioned.
True.
You will get, then it becomes association. That is not allowable.
Yes, it's not allowable. He was cut off completely. That's why, again, you cannot even call, you cannot meet your coach, you cannot go to the management, you cannot rest, you cannot even rest with those active athletes. They have to avoid you because the moment they will be seen, they'll be sanctioned. You cannot even make a call to a K official. They have cut you off. And most of your friends, they are here where you work from. The moment you are kicked out, it's a different world that you're going. Or the moment you're taken to another country, it's a different world. You have to start from scratch. And that's exactly what happened with Asbel. But right now, as I talk to him on Thursday, the guy is happy. One is just happy to come and just fellowship, that fellowship, that's running with the team. He's happy that he's coming to compete. And right now, even as he comes on Tuesday to run, he's not coming to run for time or anything. He just wants to appreciate that he's back to running. And then another thing you see, AK recently, they say during the same interview again, they say that if he happens to qualify, they will take him in the team. He's so happy about that, about turn, because initially it had been taken, they said you cannot compete once you have been found to have doped.
Yes.
But if the World Athletics itself has allowed into the system. Even before, I think 2 weeks before the suspension elapsed, they opened up his the system. He was allowed into the system. The officers came immediately. The system was open. The eve before the system was open, they had to take his blood sample. They had to take his urine so that they see where he is at the moment. So after that, they opened the system, his blood, the BP, athlete biological passport, ABP. So he had to see now the system. It's starting from zero now. This is where you are right now. When you mess this, it will show in the graphs, because when there's an issue with your blood, there's always some confusion there. Those the
graphs, the way they spike or they deep and that.
Yes, they will do that. So they allowed him. So when I went 2 weeks before he was his time elapses, we were with him in Eldoret, and he told me everything what has happened, and then he was just waiting to see what will happen. But right now the guy is happy. The guy is coming to run. He's not coming to win anything. He's just come to participate and just feel welcomed at home. Yeah.
Now, and also bring this. He says there is everything. He's done everything that he can in the 1500.
Yes.
And I'm sure. I mean, also for him, it would be a little bit difficult to get the 1500 unless he wants to go for the world record. Be the first person to run under 326. Why is he going for the 800 for a start?
I think it's a build-up and then the gradual progression, because the expectation even of the coaches, after interrogating the coaches, you see the graph or the graduation growth from 15, you say they go to 5,000. You see you have now to grow to another level of running. So I think for him is just coming. 800 is good for speed. So he's coming for speed, and that's what he has been training at Kipchoge Keino and Eldoret. So he's trying speed. So he's coming here. Here he'll run 2 races. He's going to run the 800 that now he has found a new love in, and then his usual 1500. Because he achieved everything in 1500 that anyone will want. 3 times world champion, that is huge. Silver medalist, Olympic silver medalist, that is huge.
Actually, he was, he took the silver and then he was upgraded to a gold in 2008 in Beijing.
Yes, so it's too huge. So again, he doesn't want to associate with 1500 because that's where the mess came into it. So he just wants to do 800. He forgets about that. If he happens to go ahead, he wants to go, but he wants just to run. His purpose now and mission is just to run, nothing to compete with. Yeah.
Well, quite interesting for a second generation athlete. You know, his father was at the African Games All Africa Games in 1987 and won a medal for the country. But the police championships, always explosive. 30 years ago it used to be the Kenya Defence Force.
Kenya Defence Force, yes.
But now it's the National Police Service.
Yes.
Let
me tell you, we haven't seen the best of police. The best of police is coming in 2 years' time. Okay. They are building one of the best team ever to be in Kenya. They will rule for the next 3-4 years. They are going to rule the championship in Kenya. Team Kenya, everything that will be leaving this country will be made of Kenya police.
Look at the names. Mention the names.
Mora. I'm talking of Mora.
Yes, Mary Mora is AP, yes.
One, I'm talking about Mora. Then we have Knabitris, those are police. Then we have, especially the short races. Like these ones that happened.
I mean, the 4x4 relay women's team is police.
It's police, yes. Even the short races, there are 100, 200, they have taken everyone there. Everyone. There is Monica, the national 200-meter champion in Kenya, record holder. She's in police. So in police have swept everything from
Omanyala,
yes,
to Mora,
to Beatrice. Look at now even the marathoners, to even Kamoro, the one we are talking. Even NN. Look at NN. Most of those guys, they're officers. Yeah.
Well, very interesting. Tomorrow through Thursday, National Police Service Athletics Championships, all building up to trials for the African Championships, the Commonwealth Games, and also the World Championships. John Vaselyne, thank you very much.
Anytime, brother. Thanks for hosting me.
All right. Yeah. Yes, it's now time for me to leave. It's been a pleasure being with you over the last 2 hours, and for the team that put this together, thank you very much. Most importantly, you the viewer, asante sana. Up next is Kurunzi Mashinani with Zainab Said. Our sign language interpreter has been Susan Thuku. My name is Daniel Wahome. Have a good day.